and I took a round of antibiotics, and then they put me on a stronger antibiotic, and I took that, and I began to feel good, but the voice has been a mess ever since.
I'm commission sales at Sears, and that's my livelihood, is my voice. I got so depressed just not being able to talk that it definitely affected my life.
This voice was coming out. I think, God damn it.
Within a month of therapy with Dr. Cooper, I was using my voice again to the extent that I could go out on interviews and auditions, and shortly thereafter actually worked.
You can hear the obstruction starting to obstruct now, I think.
This is the new voice.
There is that aspect of lightening up, but there also is an aspect of having the correct pressurization.
And he said, I don't want you to talk in that little girl's voice anymore. You talk in your regular voice. I said, but when I talk in my regular voice, you can't understand what I'm saying.
I had a strangled voice. It was very difficult to speak. When I did speak, it sounded strangled.
Before I had worked into the position of employment director, manager of employment. And he continued to make overtures.
To pick her up before too late and take her home. Do I feel that I'm likely to go back to it? No, I don't.
Ronald Figger. Okay, how long have you had this condition? A year and a half.
And he says, well, Ron, I'll give you 3 options too. He says, you can continue coming here for shots. You can call that doctor in California to schedule a surgery if you'd like. And then he goes, oh yeah, by the way, Ron, there's also this other guy. Go to his website, and he wrote down his name, thevoicedoctor.com, and handed it to him. And he says, check out this guy. He says he has a cure.
And so I found on the dystonia page that something that plagued people with focal dystonia was very often spasmodic dysphonia. And they called it, multifocal dystonia.
And I, as a patient who has experienced the fear and agony of thinking that my voice is disappearing.
It just got really bad lately. It chokes up. My voice chokes up. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm running out of air.
I didn't think that it could be so simple, but it was.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act like a prism and form a rainbow.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act like a prism and form a rainbow.
Gradually through a period of a year, it kept getting progressively worse where within a matter of days it would occur.
This is the patient's recovered voice. The mastoid muscle.
And then I'd go in and start talking to my boss, and at the end of like a sentence, it would start dropping. And he'd say, what's wrong with your voice? And I'd say, I don't know.
I thought, what's happened? What have I done to myself? I know no one out there has this horrible problem I've got. But I found out there's an awful lot of people walking around out there in this world that have the spastic dysphonia.
And they say that it's because some motor signal from the brain is overamped and it tightens up the vocal cords.
It's pretty tragic, isn't it? Pretty tragic sound, and it's quite different now.
The last time he injected me with half a unit each in Botox, I completely lost my voice for 6 weeks. I was incapacitated.
It was a complete roller coaster going through that, but that's the only treatment that they told me was available, and that I would be getting these injections for the rest of my life.
Couldn't think of any name, and my sister and I were joking around about how many people call the rabbit's cocktail, and I just said, oh yeah, wouldn't that be funny if I called it Q-tip? So we just called it Q-tip.
Can you talk with the rabbit again?
Hi Q-tip, how are you? Do you want to hop around today? Are you thirsty? Why did you bite my shoe?
Do you realize you change your voice when you talk to the rabbit?
I talked higher.
Who diagnosed it?
Scripps Hospital in La Jolla. Probably about a year and a half ago. They told me that it was neurological and I was born with it.
Other than the one time from Bryn where I had 6 months good voice, nothing.
I believe that spasmodic dysphonia is curable.
According to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it.
I've been here for the past 10 days trying to find a teaching position for the next academic year.
Jack got down, broke his crown. Joe came tumbling.
They didn't know what to do because they couldn't get me out of it. So eventually I went to other doctors who told me I had spasmodic dysphonia.
Trying to get help is very difficult because you can't communicate your problem or just your trials. They want you to go to psychiatrists, and how are you supposed to go to psychiatrists when you can't speak?
Well, and then he said, well, how long ago did you see Dr. Cooper? And I went, oh my God, it's been 6 years. It'll be 6 years in June.
As I go through the day, even right now, I'm tending to raise my voice and go in the upper register.
You remember that voice?
I remember it.
Did you like it?
I didn't like it then, didn't like it now.
That's to help. And after a while, I get my voice not 100%, but much better than it had been. And after about 2 years, it started to again go, got worse and worse.
I hope that by sharing, others too will find new hope for a life that allows them that greatest gift that God has given us, the gift that makes us human, that gift we call communication.